Hey everybody, just thought I'd take the opportunity to run you through how I make jerky.
Alright, so I got a whole brisket here. What I'm going to first do is I'm going to take and trim off as much of this fat as I can. Because if you know anything about fat and jerky, it's going to cause it to spoil if there's any fat on it. So, we're just going to try to get this thick layer here off. Just like so. I don't know how well you can see that, but not leaving a whole lot of meat on there. There's just a couple things I wanted to touch on here while I was trimming this that came to mind. All I'm doing here is I have that flap of fat, and I'm just taking the knife blade right along the back of it, just not cutting through it. And see, I went just a little shallow there, so there's still some fat. So I'll make another cut right below that and just keep working it back and off. And you can do this on no matter what cut of meat you're using. Alright, by the power of video, I have all the fat trimmed off. It is in that bag there. Don't worry, it's not going to go to waste. I know some very hungry dogs that will enjoy the trimmings. Gladly eat that. But what I'm going to do now, since I got all the fat trimmed off, is I'm going to take it, I'm going to cut it into 4 nice chunks. Like so. And like that. And then what I'll do next is I'll just put it in a Ziploc baggie, stick it in the freezer for, I don't know, 20 minutes. Alright folks, so I have my jerky slices in bags, just firm to the touch. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to mix all these ingredients together. Let's get down to the brass tacks here. We're going to start slicing some meat for this jerky. So my meat's somewhat flexible, but I don't want it real soft. What we're going to do here is I'm going to start a slice, and I mean there's no right or wrong way to do it. It's just all about preference. Like I said, I like to have it just slightly frozen. It just seems to cut a lot better. So we'll start the slicer up. So everything's stuck to the blade. And I'd say we got about a 1/4 inch cut on that. I think for what we're cutting here, that'll work out nicely. Got it all sliced up, all in the bowl. And this is a very big batch, so I'm just going to take and massage it all in, make sure every piece is coated real nice. Incorporate as much of this marinade across the meat as possible. Make sure there's no like real big clumps, kind of separate it a little. And then I'm going to cover it with some plastic wrap and just stick it in the fridge overnight.
Hey folks, magically 24 hours has went by. The jerky is marinated.
While I'm getting everything ready to start loading the dehydrators, I like to preheat them. I don't necessarily know why. That's just the way I do it. Might have came in a manual somewhere and it told me to preheat it. I can't say for sure, but I just like to get them preheated, a little warmed up ahead of time. Hang tight and we'll start loading some jerky here shortly. Alright, we got it all warmed up. We're going to just take the top off, set it over there. I'll just go down to the bottom rack and set these racks over here for right now. I'm going to take my ring off so I don't get it all gooed up. And we'll just take the jerky, start pulling it out, laying it on the trays like so. One thing I do like, I will say, I do like the square dehydrator a little better. And the fact that it's easier to fit everything nicely on the trays. I can't say like a good reason why that might be, but it just seems a little easier to get everything on the trays. It seems like it's more efficient to use the space. Boy, this stuff is cold. Smells delicious though. You just want to leave a little space in between them too, because air is what we're working with here. And give it a little air space to dehydrate. You don't really want the meat touching. But obviously you want to maximize every inch of space you can, so if you can put them just close enough without touching, I think you'll be pretty happy with your results. This just smells like, I don't know, goodness. It's unfortunate that we have to throw all these juices away. If I do a marinade for like a steak or something, I'll just at least baste the steak with the marinade while it's cooking. Which I don't marinate steaks very often. About all my steaks get are black pepper and garlic salt. Alright, so we got the first tray done. I'm not going to bore you with making you watch me fill up the rest of the tray. Alright, so one thing I like about these stackable type of dehydrators, excuse me, is that I didn't use all the shelves, which is fine. You can take the shelves out, you can use as many shelves as you need, and I'll just kind of check in throughout the process, kind of show you what we're looking at every time I check the jerky. Alright folks, these babies are done. We had some other functions that inhibited me from getting in here and showing you what they look like throughout the process, but this is what they're looking like when they're done. I mean, it's a little stiff, not too bad. There's no redness in them at all. So, I mean, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, share, and subscribe.